What is up, everybody? Janelle here with my UFC 182 prediction video. Let's get into it. I'm super excited for this. I'm going to zip through my predictions because I want to talk about the main event. So, first up, I'm choosing Hector Lombard to beat Josh Berkman. I'm choosing Kyoichi Hiraguchi to beat Louis Gondonat, and I apologize for my pronunciation of both those names. I'm choosing Nate Marquardt to beat Brad Tavares. And this can go either way. Toss up. They're both inconsistent at times, and if Nate's having an off night and Brad doesn't start slow, it can go the other way around, but I am calling it for Nate Marquardt. Okay, co-main events. We're seeing Donald Cerrone take on Miles Ferrigere. Miles is the undefeated up-and-comer. He's different every time we see him, ever improving, evolving, changing. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's a very tough person, very hard to put away with the chin, with the cardio. We also know that Donald Cerrone is very hard to put away as well. He also has the chin. He also has the cardio. I think that if Donald can keep this fight standing and in space, he gets it. I'm calling for Donald Cerrone. I think that Miles is going to want to keep this in close quarters, dirty boxing, take him down. I'm not quite sure who's going to be stronger. I suspect maybe Donald, and I think Donald might be a little bit faster. Plus, the kicks to me are going to play a big difference in this fight. I think standing that Donald has more weapons, diversity, and striking. And I think, again, if he keeps this in space, I think he gets it. It's not a shoo-in, though. Again, Miles is ever-changing. And if he does lose, which is what I'm calling it, that means he loses his O. Because he's undefeated. So I'm saying that he's going to lose his O. Now, main event. And we're going to see the light heavyweight champion, John Bones Jones, take on DC Daniel Cormier. We all know about the feud between these two. I'm going to talk about the fight first and then the feud. So, first up, I do think that this is probably John Jones' biggest test. A lot of folks think that DC possesses this certain skill set that it takes to defeat John Jones. He is a two-time Olympic wrestler and the best wrestler by far that John has ever faced. John is a wrestler first, but not to this degree. And, he's fallen in love with the strike and the Muay Thai. It just fits him. So, DC, I think, is going to want to keep this in close quarters. He's going to want to push the pace his way, smothering him, giving him no space, dirty boxing up against the fence, taking him down. He's got hands. He's a very fast, I was about to say a very fast heavyweight because he used to be a heavyweight. He's going down in weight. It's hard for him to make 205, so he'll be bigger than John Jones. He's a big boy. He'll be bigger than John Jones, and he'll be stronger than John Jones. Definitely stronger than John Jones. So he'll want to keep this in close quarters. He mixes his wrestling in with his striking seamlessly. It's very fluid. You don't see the takedown coming. It's very fluid. This is a tricky one, and he'll have to use that trickiness, that fluidity, to get inside of the 13-inch reach advantage that John Jones will have over him. Normally it's just 8 or 9 inches, but this time it's 13. And I think John Jones is going to have to use all of the 13 plus the legs. He uses his kicks, his jabs as well. So you got to think about, when you talk about his reach, you got to think about his legs as well. And even though he's facing such a great wrestler, you would think that he wouldn't want to use his legs, but one of his main tools is his unpredictability, his diversity in striking. You don't know what you're going to see from John Jones. Elbow, knees, kicks, punches. You don't know. Submission attempt. You don't know. So he has to keep that unpredictability. But just pick your shots. Don't get frivolous with the kicks because you're facing a two-time Olympic wrestler. Sometimes John likes to beat fighters at their own game, like he did with Chael Sonnen. Don't do that here. If you try to out-wrestle Daniel Cormier, John, you will lose. Don't do that. Be smart. Play your game. I think the corners are going to have a big thing in this fight because there's probably going to have to be some in-match changes to be made, so it'll be interesting to see what the cornermen see. The game plans are going to be important here. I think John can push the pace his way from the outside. Jab, jab, jab. Your kicks as well. Push the pace from the outside. Have him chase you. You might be able to wear him down. He's a big boy. Used to fighting other big boys and fighters in the winter of their careers, not a 27-year-old phenom. Push the pace from the outside. I think John can get this. I'm calling it for John. But I think it's going to be a great fight, and we'll see how it goes. Now, the feud. Okay, so, they had the fight at the MGM Grand. They did the stare down. John Jones headbutted him a little bit, pressed his head up against his, which is normal. Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva literally kissed. Okay? So it's normal for those bumping chest, heads touching. That's normal, okay? Daniel pushed him away and had his hand on his throat. John reacted, took a swing, and we had the fight at the MGM Grand. The funniest thing about that fight, you have to look at it if you haven't seen it, is John Jones moves Joe Rogan out the way like he's a child. So effortlessly. I was like, Joe Rogan, really? You were trying to stop John Jones, really? It's funny. So then we also had the interview with ESPN where when they thought they were off camera was still rolling, but they were off air, but it was still streaming to online, you know, they had the words exchanged off air. So my thoughts is, look, all right, the whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, I don't get that. I don't think that John Jones is fake. I don't expect him to treat someone that he genuinely doesn't like, as in Daniel Cormier, the same way he would talk to an ESPN interviewer. So yeah, they go off camera and they start talking trash. They get back on camera and he acts like a professional. He has a job. He already lost his Nike contract because of the MGM Grand thing. I don't expect him to just not consider his job. He is a professional. He has to give interviews. He's not going to act outside of himself. He's an intelligent person. So why would he just lose his will and act crazy on camera and off camera? And again, why would he treat the ESPN person with the same aggression and negativity that he would treat Daniel Cormier? That doesn't make sense. And yeah, he has to think about his career. He's not going to act all ignorant. Folks compare him to Mike Tyson. I always hear that in the comments and have these conversations where, you know, Mike Tyson, he didn't care. He didn't give a. He told a reporter he would eat her children or whatever he said. With all due respect to Mike Tyson dropped out of junior high school. Okay, he's not the brightest bulb in the box. And you could say what you want to say about John Jones, call him a sociopath if you want to. No one's calling John Jones dumb. So to expect John Jones, an intelligent, extremely intelligent man, to act in the same way as Mike Tyson is you trying not to like him. I think we need to not judge him in the same way that we would judge ourselves, in the same lens that we would judge ourselves, and judge him against his peers. John Jones isn't trying to be champion. He's already that. John Jones is trying to be one of the greatest fighters that ever touched the game, the sport. That takes a level of confidence, a level of self-belief that most of us can't even imagine. And your average fighter just trying to be champion has an inflated ego, whether they're out and loud about it or if they're calm and smooth and calm about it. But either way, their self-belief is something that most of us can't imagine. And he's already champ. He's trying to be a great. Judge him against other greats. Kobe Bryant has the video out now circulating where he's cussing out his teammates. Well, Michael Wilborn from ESPN said, well, if you go back, there's practices where Larry Bird cusses out every member of his team, the management staff, the coaches, the water boys, everyone. I'm not saying that you have to be a dick to be a great. I'm just saying if you judge John Jones against his peers, other greats, what he's trying to be, what he actually has the potential to be, you will see that his personality is not only is it not outlandish, it fits right in. I mean, yeah, you got your Magic Johnsons and your few exceptions, those nice guys, but for the most part, a lot of those greats are kind of dicks. I'm not saying that to give him an excuse, but I guess I just don't see the fakeness. I think he's just being himself. I think he has an extreme belief in himself, which he needs to achieve what he's trying to achieve. So let's go ahead and end this quick video here. Let me know what you think. Let me know your picks, your excitement, any injury updates. Let me know what you think about what I think about John Jones. How you feel about John Jones. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. Talk to me. Take care. And goodbye.